Hi, I'm Nixie, and today I thought we'll have a bit of a chill one while we have a look at something I've been working on, which is this room. Now, it's not finished, and it certainly isn't perfect, but I thought it's maybe useful to share maybe what went wrong, and it's a learning experience, therefore. Plus, I have been buying a few household bits from Temu and AliExpress, so we can check those out, and I have some, maybe not housewarming, room warming capsules. I have 2 of these Miniverse Make It Mini lifestyle capsules that we can open, and hopefully they will be appropriate to include in our room. So the first thing that I probably should point out that maybe didn't go quite so well with this room is it was meant to be one that folds up and hides away. So I was following an old tutorial from my Froggy Stuff to make a cereal box room which you can sort of fold up into the size of the cereal box. Storage-wise, that seemed great. So the cereal box part is this, and this. And on her guide, she advised adding this extension that you can put a window on. So this is cardboard packaging that I cut a hole out for the window. All good so far. But then it came to covering the walls. And specifically this corner here. So this corner needs to do 2 things. It needs to bend out like this, but it also then needs to fold back in to sort of shut it off and make it the cereal box shape. And I couldn't really figure out how to get this corner to bend 2 ways when you put paper over it. Now, admittedly, it was probably always going to be an impossible task because I've used actual wallpaper and that is thick. But even with normal paper, getting it so you can stick it on and bend it and it not sort of start popping up, I think I'm going to have to try and experiment and work out how to do that because it wasn't happening. So problem number 1, this room wasn't going to fold up. So we now have a fixed room. Now, I don't have any fixed rooms, so I can just about find space for this. I certainly am not going to be able to find space to do any more, but this one I think I know where I can keep it. Now I knew it was going to be a fixed room, I decided to do a floor. I cut out appropriate sized cardboard for some packaging, sort of sellotaped it together, and then covered it in this wood grain vinyl, which I actually quite like. I think it looks quite nice. And if we don't look close up in certain places, such as the skirting boards where you can see the floor's a bit lower, so it's not fully flat. But if we don't look at that, which why would we, then I actually quite like this floor. So now the next obstacle was the fact that the wallpaper only went up to there, because that's where the cereal box finished. But as we've got a floor that goes all the way along, I kind of wanted the full wall. If I knew it was going to be a fixed room from the beginning, I would have added an extension and we could have wallpapered it all nicely and there wouldn't have been any joins. And obviously the option, I could have just put a join and had that along that, but no, that would have offended me too much, having the wallpaper having a join in it. So my thought then was, let's have a doorway, which as you can see I've added, and this is a bit of foam board that I've covered in wallpaper. So we've now got the full length of the wall. But again, ideally I'd have liked the wallpaper to be along the top there. But as I wasn't wanting any joins, I thought, what's another thing we can do? And I came upon the idea of having a little window up there. It's maybe not quite as common, especially not in modern houses, but it is something that houses can have, so I thought we could get away with it. So the door frame's made just from lots of bits of wood painted white, but for this window, what I did was got a bit of plastic from packaging, cut it out in this size, and then blobbed some hot glue along it to make it have a bit of a pattern, and I didn't want it really to be clear. I just thought it'd be easier if it was, like, not as see-through. And then the final thing for the room was the window. So again, just a bit of plastic from packaging, load of wooden sort of dowels and like stirrer sticks, that sort of thing, all painted white. But overall I'm reasonably pleased. There's some like little gapping here. I might try and fill it in and paint it, just so it's not, I don't know. There's always room for improvement and we learn as we go along. And I most certainly have learnt a lot. I find I'm better at learning through doing. If I try and plan too much, I'm going to procrastinate and not get anything done. So if I just run in head first and sort of see what happens, and as long as you're learning along the way, I think that's fine. It's a perfectly good method. I certainly know now things that I could have improved upon when making this. For example, these 3 walls, I wish I had put some either card or foam board or something just to make them a bit stronger because they're a little bit bendy. But like I said, I've learnt through doing, and next time I can do it better. Now, as this was going to be a permanent room, I thought let's make the best use of it as possible, and all the sides I wanted covering. Here we have the other side of that living room wall, and again we had to make compromises here. With this paper, I only had enough length that would go to about here, so I decided we would do just the paper at the top, and then I got a load of like stirrer sticks, painted them white, stuck them down, and just did some thicker sticks, some borders. Things turned out alright, and at least we now can sort of look into our room, and this side is covered. We then have the outside, which I decided to cover in brick. Now this brick is 1/12 scale brick rather than 1/6, but it's really hard finding 1/6 scale stuff, and I don't think it looks too bad. It's a brick pattern. I don't think anyone's going to notice they're quite small bricks. And so far I have, for the outside, made this planter. I decided I wanted something just to fill in this space, and maybe I was hoping to keep the walls a bit straighter if there's something here. It's not actually glued in yet because I haven't got the plants in. I'm going to do that once the plants are in. Again, I've learned quite a bit from making this, and I certainly would not make it in the same way I did. If I was making this again, I would do a foam board box and then stick on these, which are just giant ice lolly sticks. Instead, for some reason, I just tried to make it so they kind of work like that. So this is actually a lid. I thought storage. Yeah, I've just got random cardboard trying to help them stay together. I'm potentially going to line this, I think, just so it's neater inside, but it's got a good bit of storage. And then the lid, we've just got foam board. I did put some black paper inside here, and then I've covered it in. This I actually got, it's for like people who make model railways. Like it's sort of meant to look like soil substrate. And I do currently have on order some fake plants from AliExpress. So when I get them, I'm going to try and arrange them and sort of, I think, make little holes in this down to the foam board and glue them in. And then it'll be a sort of raised planter bed, which I hopefully think will look quite nice. But there you go, there's just a basic room tour, and you know what, I've actually really enjoyed this process. It's been so good to learn, and I would encourage anybody who wants to do this sort of thing, just go for it. Your first attempt is never going to be beautiful, but as long as you work out what you could do better from how you maybe didn't do it as well, that's the important thing. And obviously there's still things I want to do this room. I mean, we definitely need some curtains going on, and artwork, and by way of furniture, we can at least start with some of those things I said I had recently sort of bought from AliExpress/Temu. And the first thing is this TV stand, which is from AliExpress. I really liked it. It's sort of raw wood, so you could paint it or stain it, but all of the drawers actually come out and work. It's a good length if you've got a decent sized TV, and yeah, like I said, it said it was 1/6 scale, and yeah, I'm happy to believe that. And I do quite like, because it is the raw unfinished wood, you really can sort of customise it how you want. So the next item is this TV. It did come in 2 parts. It also did say it was 1/12 scale, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to risk it and have a go. Now, if we look at it on the TV stand, it could stand to be bigger, but I also don't think it's unfair size for your 1/6 scale dolls. I think you can get away with that size TV. Just obviously modern TVs tend to be huge. The next item I got was from AliExpress. Again, it did say it was 1/6 scale, which it's big, it is. And it is a coffee table. So you've got this bit, it's sort of very modern looking. It's in, I think that is oak. And it's just got a joint here, so you can sort of move it as wide as you want. And it came with the top, so it's meant to look like glass, but it's acrylic, and it did have sort of plastic over it to keep it protected. But I've taken it off and I've got a lot of thumb smear marks now, so we'll need to give that a decent wipe. But then you just place it on top and you've got a coffee table. The final more sort of furniture-y item I've got is this little table. So I was in the range the other day and I saw this. I think it was meant to be more on the 1/12 scale than 1/6, but I thought just as like a little side table, it's not too bad. And again, you could just paint it and decorate it how you want because it's just sort of raw wood. But I thought it was maybe cute and potentially usable. Now, the final items that were more bought for this room, as opposed to just general householdy items, were this and this. So I got these from Amazon, and they are mouse mats, but I think they make quite good rugs, and I have got this style before. So this one's quite just a plain, nice sort of beigey modern style. And then this one, it's more abstract faces, which, I don't know, I just kind of liked the sort of arty vibe to it. I think this room might be better with the plain one, but there was just something about it that appealed to me. So the next items are householdy, but not for this room. I got with my doll Rachel in mind, because they've got a pink theme. So if we stick with rugs, I got this. It's quite thin, and let's face it, that is 1/12 scale, but that doesn't mean you can't, just slip in a smaller rug in certain spaces. I just wanted to see what it was like, so I ordered it. I then got this. I wasn't quite sure how big it would look. It did have dimensions, but sometimes unless you see it in real, you just don't know how it will actually look. Don't think it's too bad, and it does actually work, so press it and it turns on, and there is a little bit of light. So I think that definitely could be, snuck into a room somewhere to add some extra pinkness. And the final pink item is these boxes. I just love them. I'd seen them on Temu and really wanted them, but they were quite expensive, like £11 something. And then I saw them on AliExpress, and I can't remember how much they were now, but maybe like £6 or something like that. But I wanted them. They look so cute. So you get 6 boxes in total. They all have lids that do come off, so your doll has some storage now. So out of the smaller boxes, you've got this one, and then these two, which don't have handles. Next size up, we've got this long, thin one. Again, no handles, but this one does, and they're the same length. And then here we've got the biggest box with handles. I don't even know particularly what I want to use them for yet, but I mean, in a, sort of closet or something, these would be great, sort of, put away for storage. I just love these, and I'm not displeased at all. And then just a quick final thing that I bought, because let's just chuck it all in this video. Again, when I was in the range, there was this plastic bin. I think it's maybe to hold pencils, but I thought it's actually quite a good Barbie size. So the lid, it does open, the little wheels do spin, and yeah, just put a house number on the front, and it's now a recycling bin for your Barbies. So we could put it on the outside of this room, and it would probably look quite good. So just quickly grab Daniela, just so we can sort of see a height comparison, and like I said, that would work really well for your Barbies. And if I just chuck her in the room here again, you can sort of get an idea of how big everything is in comparison to a Barbie. So we just got the biggest box and smallest box. And the light. Right, this video is probably already really long, but let's open this capsule. I think it's the shape, just hard to get over that extra, ridge. Oh, and if anyone's interested, the pinhole's there, so I'm hoping I know what this is, but let's take a look. Inside we've got safety guides, we've got the collect guide, and we've got all these packages. This one's practically already open, so might as well get it out. And as I was hoping, it is a plant, and it is the one that I thought that pinhole related to. So it's just got an elastic band holding it in place. In this bag we have clips for the display cabinet. There we go, and I meant feet, not clips. A trowel and some tweezers. Wrapped in this paper we have quite a cute little tray, sort of speckled. In the final bag we have some perlite mix. And then in the box we have 2 little pots. Okay, I thought this was one plant, but they were just stuck together, so 2 plants. And we like the plants because they're simple. We put the potting mix in the pot and put the plants in, and we're done. And as this is the first time I have opened any lifestyle capsules, let's have a quick look at the collector's guide. So at the top here we've got a lot of flowers. We then have bird feeders and a birdhouse, and quite a nice orchid. I wouldn't mind that, that's quite cute. And then some more house plants, and that's the one we got. So it says is that Pilea pear? Not a plant I've heard of, but it looks cute. So as always, just a case of open up, pull out some of the sort of forgotten the word there, kinetic sand, and just pop it in the pot until it's near the top, and you can make a little divot to put the plant in. And here they are. Like I said, I like the plants, they're just really easy to make, but look so effective. Now obviously we could put them in here for their display stand, but we want them for the room because it was a room warming present. So they can go on the coffee table. Now I did mention I had 2 capsules. Now for this one, it's got a pencil mark rather than pinhole, but we'll make the assumption that's what it is. I did get these on Amazon, so I didn't have any sort of picking choice. And if it's got inside what I think it has, it might not have been something I'd have picked particularly. but we shall see. Ooh, that did come off nicely. Right, so this little bit here does tell me that I'm likely to be right in what I think is going to be inside. Can't even get it open. So it is one of the bird things, and if we open it, we have Wild Things Nectar, and yes, it's the hummingbird one. In this bag, we have the tweezer and the legs, and I can show you why I knew it was definitely a bird one, because of this little hook, and it's sort of to hang the feeder. Right, so let's open this box. So we get 3 pieces, it's quite ornate, so I'm guessing that goes in there, and this goes on top. So it's quite cute, it's got patterned, and it would be glass if it was real, and these little sort of flower shapes. And then the bird, I mean, hummingbirds I don't think are really pets to be having it like my name is, but I appreciate the packaging nonetheless. So we've got this sort of, look like nesting material. And then this tiny little hummingbird. I love the fact that it's got iridescent paint on it. I wasn't expecting that. That's really pretty. The eye paint maybe is a little bit dodgy. One eye looks quite a bit bigger than the other. But it is quite a small thing, so. So for this one, it seems you put the resin in the glass part, but that doesn't actually do anything for you because it would just be in there, so I'm not sure if I'm going to bother. Then also says use the resin just to glue this down, which again, don't think I need to. And finally to use a tiny bit of resin to stick your bird to the flower, which again, I don't think we need to. I sort of think it'd be a waste of resin, because I just don't think you're gonna, like, yeah, you will see that there's some liquid in there, but I'm happy to kind of leave this as is. That looks fine, doesn't it? And it's probably good, because, like I said, I just feel this video has probably gone on way too long, because I spent a lot of time just wittering about the room. But when I do more of the outside and make it more of a garden, we can try and add that. Actually, no, it's a hummingbird. They're not native to the UK. I would have preferred either of the other bird ones. Maybe when I find the lifesteal capsules in store, I'll think about getting either of these two, because feeder, nesting box, I mean, cardinals aren't British birds, or I haven't heard of a chickadee either. But that's fine, the birds don't matter, the actual things matter, whereas that's such Pacific hummingbird feeder. I do really like that orchid though, I want that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching as we took a look at the sort of beginnings of this room. It certainly needs a bit more work to it, but I just kind of wanted to show you where I'd progressed to so far. And possibly now we've got the base, we can do some actual on-camera like accessories, like I want some paintings, I want some curtains. We need to sort of make this room feel a bit more life, a bit more lived in. But the first thing I want to do off camera is glue something across the top of here. When I was moving it to film it, this whole bit broke off and now it's gone really wonky. So we're going to sort that. If you did like this video, please do hit thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos, please do subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!